cloud console to use to produce these encryption keys. We'll have to use the cloud shell in order to set up this encryption key for a Google Cloud Storage bucket. So let's do that. Let's first create one bucket. CMEK Cloud Supply Encryption Key, my bucket. Continue. Let's put it in Vision. Let's use here. Continue. Standard. Continue. Uniform. Continue. So I'll just go ahead with this default option and create one bucket. So this is my bucket, and so whenever I'll put, now you can see in this bucket. So this bucket now this is the one. Okay. So now you can see if I go to configuration, it is Google managed key because we didn't set up anything. We didn't set up encryption key. So that's why by default it's showing Google in manage encryption key. Now from the cloud shell, I'll go to my cloud shell. I'll turn on the cloud shell. Okay. So there are a set of commands which we need to run. So this was the first command which we ran yesterday in order to. So let's first see what are the files already present in the cloud shell, because yesterday we created some files, we uploaded some files in the cloud shell. So right now I have all these files on the cloud shell. Okay. And let's first generate the key using this open SSL command. So yesterday also we had generated the key. Okay. And now I will use the command. Yesterday also we used the same command, which is gsutil. So this is the command gsutil encryption key. Then we need to copy this encryption key which we have generated. Copy that, paste that encryption key. After that, you need to put your object name which you want to store inside this bucket. So let's put that object name, which is I'll put the CMEK txt, and then the bucket name where I want to store this. I'll copy the bucket name from here. This is my bucket name. Okay, I think this is the syntax. gsutil gs file txt. Yeah. So let's copy the file. Authorize. Now you can see invalid command. Triple encryption key. Oh, sorry.
TP is missed.
G
Sorry.
Yeah, CP is mixed.
That colon.
Now
Colon.
which one?
Colon is right.
Colon is there, right? Here.
Okay.
It's gsutil colon encryption key, and this is the key. This is the key which I generated using this OpenSSL rand command. Okay, so that is the key I'm using. Okay. Now, if I go to my cloud, So let's refresh it. If I go to my bucket, choose the bucket. This I use. Okay, this is the bucket name. So now you can see inside this bucket I have stored this file, and here you can see the encryption is customer supplied encryption key. If you want to also see this bucket, what is the content inside this object, what is the content of this object, you will not be able to see also. Even I will not be able to see because this is customer supply. If I try to use it, see the target object is encrypted by a customer supplied key. So I will not be able to see the content of this object because it's customer supplied encrypted. Okay. The way how I can show I can see the content of this object is, so here on the cloud cell, if I go here, instead of CP, we know the command. If you want to see the content of a file, the command is cat command, right? So if I put the cat command, okay, I should not use this one. If I use cat command followed by the bucket name, so I need to use this one. Where is that? This is the command gsutil URL. See here, the content was CSEK demo. So that is the content inside that file. If you want to see, also we can use the nano editor or cat command to see that, because that file is already present here, right? So it is CSEK demo. So this is the way we can see the content of the object if it is customer supplied encrypted. If it is encrypted with the customer supplied key, you cannot see the content of the object in a browser or using that gsutil URL or this authenticated URL. You will not be able to see the content of the object. Okay, so that is how customer supplied encryption key works.
Yes, Swagat,
Any
second time without key, how we will see the data? Second time.
second
Cat.
time how will you?
How we will see the data without key?
No, you can see
Cat,
the
cat.
key I have to supply, right?
Yeah, you
This is the
supply.
key.
Yeah, second time cat and cask.ts.
No, this is it's showing because that this file is already present inside the cloud cell, right? If we
Okay, this is the
see,
local. Okay, yeah, yeah, got it.
yeah, this is present in the local, already
Yeah, got
present
it.
in the cloud cell. So this file I'm browsing from the cloud cell. But if
Okay,
you want to see from the cloud storage bucket, this is the command, and in that cat command you'll have to supply the key as well. This is the key. If I change the key, you will not be able to see also. It will not show you. It will give you error.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
change
got
the
it,
key.
got it.
See here. You will not be able to see. You will get no decryption key. You will get the error. Decryption key error. So you will have to supply same key which you have set up while copying the data. Okay. So that is how customer supplied encryption key works. And next one is I had told you, like we'll set up this one, the customer managed encryption key also using cloud cell. So let's do that as well. Let me clear this one. Okay, so let's create one bucket first, which we'll use to set up this one. See, to use the customer managed key. Okay, so this is the, let's change the bucket name. This is the command to create the bucket in cloud cell. gsutil mb -l, and this is the region -l I am using because I am providing the location. Okay, so this will create a multi-region bucket. you go to storage, it will create a multi-region bucket on this US location. This is the bucket which I created. Yeah, this one. If you see, it's a multi-region bucket which I created in US region. So I am providing that location using -L. Okay. There are other options as well. If you want to provide the location, you can refer the Google document. You can also provide other parameters as well while creating the bucket. Okay. So let's use that one.
Can I
And
give
then,
directly US West? US West one.
sorry,
Can I give directly US West one instead of US?
can you give you US West one? Yeah, you can give. You can give. You can give. If you want to create a region, if you want to create your bucket in particular region, there are
Yeah.
options. There are GS util options which you can give. Okay.
-L only, right?
Yeah, yeah. -L.
Location.
No, in when you are providing the region, this is for the location. When you are providing the region, I think the hyphen will change. I think I don't remember the exact syntax, but this is not the syntax. Yeah, you will use GS util MB, but when you are providing the region parameter, I think either R or something else you will have to use. So when you will provide US West 1 or US West 2, I think in that case you will have to provide the region. I think minus -R or something else you will have to use. I don't remember the exact gsutil command, but you can refer the Google document, and you can create it. Okay. You can do that as a practice. You can refer to Google document. I think I have already shared you all the link where you can refer the Google document, and you can create a bucket, not a multi-region bucket. You can create a regional bucket in US West one. Okay, you can do that, but don't worry about don't try to remember the gsutil command. No need to remember all these commands. These commands are available in Google. You can Google it. Nobody is going to ask you to write a command to create a bucket in US West 1. What will be the gsutil command? Nobody is going to ask you. If they ask you how to create what is the gsutil command to create a bucket, you can just tell them gsutil md. That is fine. That is more than enough. Okay, because nobody remembers all these commands. There are many gsutil commands. Okay, let's copy a file. This food text file is already there in my Cloud Shell. I will change this one. My okay, so this is the bucket name. Let's put the bucket name, copy the file. Okay. So now we have copied a file inside this bucket. You can see that if we just refresh it, we will see that this food text file I have copied to this bucket. Okay. So but now it is Google managed. I'll will create the Google managed customer managed key here inside this bucket. Okay. So before that, this is the steps which we have to follow. So if you remember in console, first we went to cloud KMS, and if you remember in one of the class, the cloud KMS in API was not enabled, and we enabled this API. Okay, so that is what I am doing here. Okay, it's G cloud. G cloud. That is
Yes,
what I am
Father.
doing here.
When to go for GS util and when to go for G cloud?
So GS util is for cloud storage. Okay, GS util for cloud storage. But here, this command I am using, if you remember in one of the class, I think last to last class, we enabled this cloud KMS API because I told you the key for customer managed encryption key. You will have to create the key ring first, and then you will have to create a key. So that
Generate
key
a key. Yeah, yeah.
you can use that while creating the bucket. So first, the API you need to enable the KMS API. You have to enable that. Okay,
Correct,
the
correct.
key management service API. So that is what I am doing. And when you enable the API, you have to use gcloud command. Similarly, whenever you are trying to do with anything with BigQuery, so that is a command that is a BQ command. So that BQ command you need to use in Cloud Shell whenever you are doing anything with the BigQuery. Similarly, GSUtil command you need to use whenever you are doing any kind of creating bucket or anything with the cloud storage. These are the difference. Okay. So now we enable the API, and then we need to create the ring. So if you remember, we went to Cloud KMS, we created the key ring, right? We created a key ring. So now I created my key ring, and I stored my key ring on this name. Okay, this is a variable, you can say. This is a environment variable which I will use in my further commands or in my further syntax. So I am storing this environment variable. I'm this value, this lab keyring one, this value I'm storing in this environment variable. Similarly, when you are creating the key, also you need to create a crypto key as well. See, I'm following the same steps which I did on the console. There's nothing new. If you can relate it, you will able to understand it. So if you remember, when I go to key management service, so there I first created key ring, and I created the key crypto key. So first we need to create this crypto key. Let's create two crypto keys. But it's not mandatory to create two crypto keys. You can also do with one crypto keys. Okay, and then so this is the command. I'm creating my key ring. See, first what I did, I just stored these values on this environment variable. These are just variable. Okay, so this is the variable which is having this value lab keyring 1. Now I am using this gcloud command, gcloud kms keyrings, create keyrings. I mean, this will create a keyring for me for this for this whatever the key rings value I have stored using this name, it will create a key ring on US location. If you remember, I created key ring in Asia Southeast 1, which is for Singapore location. And when I use that key ring inside the bucket, if you remember, you will have to create the bucket in the same region as well in Asia Southeast 1. If your keyring is another location and if you are creating bucket in other location, you cannot attach that keyring to that bucket. So your bucket, your keyring both has to be in same location. That is what I am doing here. Okay. So this bucket I created on US location. Keyring I am also creating in US location. Yes, this is G Cloud. Sorry, G Cloud. Okay. Now I'm creating the crypto key for both of those keys. I'm creating this crypto key. So crypto key 1, crypto key 2. Okay. Then once you created your crypto key, so you can authorize your project So if you go to here, see, I have already created the key. Now let's go to KMS. Let's see my keys are present or not. Because I have created key using Cloud Shell. Okay, if you go to KMS, you will see those keys will be present on your KMS. See here, this is the lab key ring 1, which we created just now, and these keys are available, right? Lab key double one, lab key 2 1. These are the keys which I created just now. Lab key double one, lab key 2 1, right? Now, and this is the bucket. This is the bucket which I created. This is the object which I have stored inside this bucket. Right now, what I'll do, I'll attach this key to this bucket. Okay, so let's do that. So the command to attach the key to that bucket is GMS cloud, GS util KMS authorize -p hyphen p is for the project ID. Okay, if you want to see the generalized command, that also we can see here. I think encrypt data customer manage. You go here. This is the Google Cloud document. Here you can see this is what I am doing. KMS authorize -p project storing object. So project storing object is the ID or the project number. So this is your project ID. So you need to provide the project ID here. Hyphen K, then key source. Key source means if you go to your key, you will get a source name. That means where this key is present. If I go to here, my key, copy source name. Let's copy that into my text file. You can put it in a text file. So this is my key source name, right? So if I go here, the command is gsutil kms authorize -p project id minus hyphen k and then the key source name. So that is what I am doing here. I go to my console, kms authorize -p, this is my project id, hyphen k, this is not my key source name. I'll have to change it. Because this will not work. I think lab key ring. It is not lab key ring. I'll have to copy and paste. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay. So the key resource name which I copied. Let me paste that. This is the resource name. Let me paste that. Right. So now, if I enter, so my project will authorize. So it is authorizing my project with this key. Let's do it for the other key as well. So the for other key it is 2 1.
Can I give
Okay.
any number like 11, 12 like that, or is it specific number?
Yeah, you can give any number. Okay. So now I have authorized my both the key so that I can use this key for in this project. If you remember why we are authorizing, if you remember while creating a key in this project, while creating a bucket, if you remember, there was one service account. There was one notification. It popped up where it asked me to grant that service account to use that key. If you remember, while setting up the cloud KMS, while setting up the customer managed key using the console, it asked me like this is the service account which is going to use this key, and I had to grant that access. So that is what I am doing here. I am authorizing this project. This is my project. This project can use this key. Okay. And now, now I'll attach that key to my bucket. Okay. So you can also go to the syntax use default view encrypt. Okay. So the command is cloud kms gsutil kms. Let me copy. Okay, let me clear some because I'm not able to see it. Notification is coming. Let me clear. Let me give you guys all this syntax as well. Set open can also use in the chat. And so let's clear the screen and then we'll attach the key to our project. Clear it. Okay. So next is we need to attach that key to my bucket, right? So that is what I'm going to do. The command is gs util kms encryption -k project name, the key name where the key resource name, and then the bucket name to which you are going to attach this key. So my key resource name is different. Let me use my key resource name. I think this is my key resource name. I'll use my key resource name. Okay. Key resource name, and then the bucket name to which you want to attach this one. So the bucket name is, this is my bucket. If I go to configuration, this is the one, right? Can you see here? Setting default KMS key for this bucket. Now it was Google managed key, right? It's changed to customer managed key, right? So this is how you can uh, uh, you can set up a customer managed key using Cloud Shell, right? So that these are the command. Yeah. So these are the command which you can use to set up a cloud managed customer managed encryption key on a bucket. Okay. And now also if you want to see whether your bucket is having encrypt is your bucket is encrypted or not, so this is the command gsutil kms encryption, the bucket name. My bucket name is, this is my gsutil url for my bucket. Let's use that one. So you can see it's showing that my bucket is encrypted, and this is the key with which my bucket is encrypted. So this is the customer managed encryption key, and this is how you can set up the customer managed encryption key using the Cloud Shell. Okay. Any doubts till now? Any doubts? Vansi Prasad, anything, any questions you have to ask? Else we'll move ahead to the next topic.
Yes, Mohammed. Can you please share me the steps? Multiple steps.
Sorry?
Can you please share the steps?
Yeah, yeah.
Command.
Let me share it now.
The final step also, the source name we are giving it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Not. Let's move on to the next topic.
No, sir.
Okay. So the next topic is object versioning. We have already discussed. Cloud controlling the access. Also, we have discussed all these uniform and fine grained. Let's discuss about signed URL. Okay.
Yes,
So
Mohammed.
in this,
While creating the same bucket, I have wondered. The retention policy means we have to give number of days after updating the any new file to existing bucket.
uniform to,
Retention policy. Retention policy. While creating the bucket, we have one option, right? Retention policy.
yeah, yeah. While creating the bucket, let's which one you are talking about. Create a bucket. Yeah. Which option? Which one?
Retention policy in console.
Retention policy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'll talk about that. Don't worry. Okay. Retention policy. Okay. Let's talk now about that. So retention policy is so in case of retention policy, what will happen? Mm, okay. That's the candidate. So retention policy, the concept is pretty simple. Uh, so what will happen? So retention policy means if you are creating your own bucket, okay. Let's say if you are creating one bucket and so to your bucket, if you want to retain this bucket for some period, okay, so that no one can modify or delete your bucket. Okay, so that is what retention policy means. If you set up for the retention policy, let's say for 10 days, or 30 days, okay, then no one will be able to modify or delete this bucket until this period, until 30 days or until 10 days from the PDF, from the date of creation of the bucket. To go to here, retention policy for preventing deletion and modification of the bucket subject for a specified minimum duration. So I can put it either 10, and I can put here 10 days or 10 months or 10 years. Okay, so no one will be able to, apart from me, no one will be able to delete or modify this bucket. Okay, so that's the retention policy why we use. Okay, so that's the only concept of the retention policy. So if you want to apply that retention, if you don't want someone to delete or modify the bucket for 10 days or any period, if you want to set, that you can do using this retention policy. Okay, anything else?
No, sir. Yeah,
Sure. Okay, so let's discuss about the signed URL now. Okay, so signed URL, the concept is, let's say you have one bucket, right? This is my bucket, and let's say I want to give the access to someone who is not having any Google Cloud account. Okay, who is not having Google Cloud account. Okay, who is just an user. Just an user means who is not even having the Gmail account, but I just want to give him some temporary access. Okay, so that I can give using the signed URL. Okay, so there will one URL which will be automatically generated for my bucket. Okay, and that URL will be valid for 10 days or 30 days, any duration I can put. Okay, so if anyone is having that URL link, so they will be able to access the content of my bucket only for this many days or for this period. Okay, so that I can set do using the signed URL. That is the use of signed URL. You can see this is for temporary access. You can give access to any user who is not having Google Cloud account. Even I can just open any browser. I can use that URL link. I can access the content of my bucket. Okay, so that is the usage of signed URL, and the maximum validity period is 7 days. Okay, so up to 7 days you can change it. Like, I mean, you can also give the access for 10 second or 7 second till 7 days. Okay, and that you can do using the gsutil command only, using gsutil or using cloud console, sorry, using cloud shell. Okay, so let's do that. So when you are going to create a signed URL, first of all, you need one service account, because we know that the service account we use whenever anybody wants to access our bucket, whenever anyone wants to access our bucket, and who is in, where like it's a non-human interaction with our bucket. In that case, we are going to use the service account. Okay, so we need to create one service account. That service account we need to attach to my bucket. So through that service account, anyone can access my bucket, but they will access via this URL, and this URL I will generate from the cloud shell using the cloud shell command. This is the command gsutil sign URL. Using this command, I will generate my sign URL link. Okay, so let's do that. First, I will go to my console. I will go to my service account. So service account is present under IAM. Let's go to IAM. Service account. Let's create one service account. Service account name. Let's put signed URL. Okay. and any description you can put down the URL. Let's create this service account. And since I am going to access this storage, cloud storage, so I will give at least the cloud storage viewer access so that they can, because see this is account just a ID, okay, and that ID needs to have a role attached to it. So since delete storage, and we are going to access the content of the cloud storage, I will give the cloud storage. Let's try go with viewer access. If it is does not work, then we'll go with the admin access. But let's go with cloud storage viewer access. I think that will work. Cloud storage, cloud storage object viewer. Okay, let's continue. I'll create a key. So for this service account, when we discussed about the IAM, we discussed like we'll have to create the keys. So let's go to manage key and create a key. Okay, create a new key, and I'll create a key in form of JSON. If you want to see this key, how this key looks like, so this key is just for this service account. You'll be able to see this is the key. Okay, so this is the key which I have created. Project ID, let's use it. You can see this is how the key looks like. I'll use this key when I'll generate that URL. Okay. Now let's go to my console. Let's create one bucket. Find demo my bucket. Let's create a region bucket in this year. Southeast. Continue. Standard. Do it. Create. Upload some files inside this bucket. Download an image. Save image. Okay, rename it. Rename the image. Why it is not okay? Rename it. That's a car. Okay. Now let's. Okay, this is fine. Let's change the rename it as well. Find key one dot JSON. So inside that I have my keys which I created from the service account. Now let's go here, upload my image. So the image has been uploaded. Okay. Now let's start our cloud shell. So from here, I have a command. So I need to install sudo pip3 install uh, open SSL system. Yeah, and then let's install sudo get install libssl dev. So these are the packages which I need in order to generate that URL. Okay, so that's why I'm installing, and then just okay, I'll come there. Let's just upgrade. Let me copy and paste this command for you. The command and now let's just update the P3 install upgrade. Now we need to install sudo P3 install file open SSL. Okay, see, I have so it's already installed. That's fine. Now the command which I need to use. So typing the key, upload that.
Your voice is
Because
breaking.
this is it clear now? Is it clear
Yeah.
now or it's still breaking?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay. Okay. So I uploaded this JSON file. Let's see the signed JSON is already there or not. The signed key one JSON is already there. Now the command is gsutil sign URL gsutil sign URL. Let's give the access for uh, 60 seconds. The key is where my key is present. So this is the file where my key is present, and the bucket is where, where I have uploaded that car image. This one. So now, if you see, this is my URL. And demo. This is my URL for this object. If I go to URL, so this is the authenticated URL. So I can access it from here because I have already logged in. So I should be able to access from here. But if I create a new incognito window where I have not logged in, I think since I'm using, I don't have any other browser. But can you try once if you are able to access it or not? You should not be able to access. Let's try once. Can you try once? New private folder. Yeah, see here. If I'm trying to access from here, it's asking me to log into the Google Cloud account, right? In order to access that object. But if I have the signed URL, it will not ask me to log into the Google Cloud account. I can directly access the object. Okay, so let's generate that signed URL. Let's go to my signed URL. What is my bucket name? So the bucket name, I just want the bucket name. Okay, here, my bucket name. Specific comment exception. Generating signed URL for creating user requires a region be specified here. Okay, let's see the GS util and sign URL. This is the private key file. So you can see if we see this command didn't work, right? So that's why I just use the help command to see what is the exact command, because the command which I am using, that might be wrong, right? So if I see here, let me see the exact command which are it showing. Okay, okay. Specify the vision, which resources are GS util minus port today minus port day. I think I need to specify the vision as well. Which resources for which you are creating the same URL. Default value is auto, which will cause user to get the region for the resources. When auto detecting the region, the current region regions are not the region for the primary. So this is okay. Signed URL. Specify the region based location. Let's see that the command GCP signed URL command with region region name. Take that. I don't remember the command. So find the URL D command for on region. Option must be specified and not auto when generating. Location edge. So we have created in Asia Southeast one. Let's use that, right? Let's use that. Clear it. use that and see. So along with this, let's use -r and the region is ours is Asia Southeast 1. So this is where we have created our bucket. See, it is working. Yeah. See, now you can see this is the URL it generated, right? Now if you see, this URL is active only for 60 seconds. Yeah, 60 seconds. That is for 1 minute. Now it takes some time to reflect. So where is my thing? I have copied. Now let me go to here. Here I was not able to see the image, right? Now I think I should be able to see. It takes some time to reflect the change. Okay, so 60 seconds. Now it got the token. You can see the token has been expired. So we'll have to generate the token again. For some reason it was not working. Let's change that to, let's say, 300 seconds. Now if I see, am I getting any error? XML does not appear to have any style information. Okay, I think it's showing the object information. You can see the car image, but since the image it's showing in the XML format. Okay, so the URL is showing in the XML format. You can see it's showing the car image, and after 300 seconds which I have put, so that is the after 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, this token will expire, but it's showing the car image only, right? You can see here. This is the car image. The key is showing. So if I go to here also to another browser, so where earlier I was getting this option like to sign in here, but now if I use, it will not ask me to sign in. You can see it's showing the car image, the same image file it's showing, the size of the image file, everything it is showing, but in a XML format. Okay, showing the bucket name as well. So where it has stored that, so that is it. Everything is showing the car image, but it is showing in form of XML format. If you use any kind of text, I think for that it will show directly the text value. Whatever the content of the text file, it will show you that text content. But since we have uploaded the image file, for that image file, it's showing the value in XML format. But if you see after 5 seconds, after 5 minutes, this token will expire and we will get an error like this. The provided token has been expired. You will not be able to access it. Okay, since till 5 minutes, you can see this information. So that is how you can generate a signed URL, and you can give it to anyone. See here on this is a private browser where I have not signed in, I have not logged in, but since I have the URL link, I am able to see it. Right? Any doubts? Any questions till now?
Can you open that link in another browser? Is it open?
Which browser?
If you open that link in another browser, like in Chrome or some other
Yeah,
browser,
this is yeah. It will open. Why it will not open?
but the image is
You
not
can
showing,
see
right?
image is not showing. It's showing in the XML format. Image is not showing. But if you see, this is the XML file. XML file does not appear doesn't have any style. So it's not showing the image, but you can see the name of the file. This is the car image. This is the bucket where we have stored. So all those information is showing. The size of the image, everything is showing. It's not showing that image. Okay.
Okay, Sonia.
But if you see after 5 minutes, I'll show you if our class if we will do the like if we are there. So I'll show you how after 5 minutes you will not be able to access this thing. Okay, it will ask you this the token has been expired. So this is how the signed URL works. You will generate one URL link from here, and that URL link you can use. And this is the command. Let me copy and bring you this command as well. This guy. Should sign your sugar 53 50 stop. Okay. Okay. And the next one is pricing. Okay. The pricing concept are simple. We have already discussed multiple times. If you go here, if you try to create one bucket, you can see the pricing as well based on the region in which or the location where you want to create the bucket. So based on that, you will be able to see the pricing of that bucket. So how much price you are going to pay. Here you can see it's showing me estimate your monthly cost. So everything you can see. Here I'm just using this bucket. Let's continue. If I'll create this multi-region bucket, it is showing me this is the cost. And if you put the storage size, let's say 1 GB storage size, and data retrieval size, if we put how much, it does not matter because you can see data retrieval is free. But how much, what is the size of the object you want to store or you are going to store inside your bucket? Based on that, you will see the you will see the price of this bucket. Okay, if I change this to region, the price will change. Earlier it was showing $0.26, 0.26. Now since I changed to region, so the price changed to 0.20. If I changed some other location instead of US, if I change to Singapore, or if I change some other location, the price will also change. For some location, price will vary. See, earlier it was showing 0.20, right? Now I change the location to Europe, the price got changed. And also here you can put the data storage size, how much data you want to store in your bucket. This is the amount which is showing per GB per month. Okay, so that way you can also estimate a price. Okay, so we have almost covered like all the concept of the Google Cloud Storage. Any anything you want to ask, anything